Ever notice how 9mm pistols almost never get cheaper until suddenly they do? Last week I walked into a shop and saw a tag that stopped me cold. A pistol I'd paid full price for months ago, now marked way down. I thought, no way, that's gotta be a mistake. But sure enough, it wasn't just one model. Half of the case was flashing deals nobody saw coming. It's easy to get caught flat-footed. I've been that guy standing there, wallet out, only to watch the price snap back up the next day. Most folks wait too long and then spend weeks kicking themselves or chasing the same gun online at double the cost. But there's a reason this list isn't just about timing. One pistol here dropped so far, so fast, it felt like beating the system. My biggest win in years. Miss a minute, and you might miss the steal of the year. I was killing time at a shop down in South Fort Worth, just soaking in the usual chatter, when I spot the Ruger Max 9 case, looking emptier than I remember. The last time I checked, these weren't exactly flying off shelves. They sat steady, always priced right, no drama. But that day, a new tag jumps out. Price marked down, way below what I paid last fall. I leaned in and asked the counter guy, "Is this legit?" He just grinned and said Ruger dropped prices overnight. No big announcement, just a quiet move, with all the micro 9s fighting for space. He'd already sold 3 before lunch, and every old-timer who came in was stopping to stare at the tag. By Saturday, regulars were already swapping stories. Should've grabbed one, now they're all gone. I saw it happen. One buddy hesitated, came back after a week, and the price had bounced right back up. The ones who moved quick made out. Everyone else is just watching prices climb. Sometimes, price drops don't come with a billboard or warning. They flash by, and if you're not standing there, you miss it. I almost did. This time, I walked out lucky. I'd been watching prices online for weeks, half expecting something weird as the new year rolled in. Suddenly, there it was. M&P 9 2.0 compacts, listed hundreds lower than they'd been all fall, and not just at one store. 3 big dealers dropped prices the same day, but nobody said why. No banner, no promo, just this silent reset. I started calling around. First dealer played dumb, second gave the usual holiday clearance line, but the third finally let it slip. It's distributor pressure, man. They want these moved before new announcements drop. If they sit, we're stuck. The calendar, not the customers, was running the show. All week, I watched the prices hold at rock bottom, while forums kept guessing about some secret recall or overstock dump. Meanwhile, a few smart buyers quietly swept up the cheap stock, never posting a thing. I never figured out exactly who pulled the trigger on the drop, or how many managed to score. Maybe I hesitated too long, maybe I was right too. What I do know, when industry pressure meets a soft market, the rules change. And by the time most folks catch up, the deal's already history. And what happened with the next gun? That price made even less sense. Last week, right after the day after Sunday, I wasn't planning on buying a thing, just burning ammo, trying to clear my head out at my local range. Steel Bay was busy, brass everywhere, and most folks locked into their own routines. But a pair of guys, 2 stalls over, kept talking just under the noise, almost like they didn't want anyone else hearing. I caught the words mid-400s today and Beretta in the same breath. Both of them checked the sticker on an APX1, nodded, and slid their cards without so much as a test fire. In less than a minute, 2 pistols were gone. No hesitation, no back and forth. By the time I'd reloaded, I saw the counter guy pack up the last threaded SR model for someone who'd called ahead. That's when it clicked. Everyone's still chasing Beretta's old metal frames, so these APX deals fly under the radar. The market lets them sit just long enough for the right buyer to pounce. The drop is real, but it isn't loud. One caveat, though. Before you grab one, double-check the optic plate. Not every red dot's going to fit without a headache. If you ever see an A1 sitting under $500, don't think. Just move. They won't be there when you come back. Sometimes, the real cost of a deal is what you notice too late. And sometimes, it's the gun you never even saw leave the shelf. Yesterday, I was on my way out of town, swung by a strip mall shop just to see if any new arrivals had landed. Right by the door, the FN 509 tactical display hit me. Placard boasted the gun, holster, 2 extra mags, and a tactical case, all for a price that had me thinking twice. I told myself if it's still there after lunch, I'll swing back. This morning, I cut back through the same spot, same price, same shelf, but now it's just a bare box. Nothing else. No sign of the placard, and when I asked about the bundle, the counter kid barely looked up. Nah, that was yesterday's deal. If it's not on the sign, it's not in the box. Felt like a ghost town after a rodeo. Nobody claiming what happened, no story, no apology. Driving out, I kept thinking about how slick that move was. A bundle deal that could vanish overnight. And no one's going to fight for you if you didn't grab proof. You can argue all you want, but without a picture, it's your word against a blank tag. I just kept replaying it in my head, swearing if I ever see a bundle like that again, I'm snapping a picture first. Nothing like driving away, knowing the deal on the sign might as well have been a mirage. It was 1 midnight after a New Year party. Still happiness in my mind, couldn't sleep, so I started scrolling the usual gun forums and dealer sites, half looking for trouble, half looking for deals. That's when I spotted CZP10C, new discounted price, splashed across the banner on a site I'd actually trusted before. CC screenshot, bookmark, heart rate goes up a notch. But there's a catch. Something about that number doesn't sit right. 6 months back, I swear, I saw the same pistol on the same site, maybe $30 more. Now it's being pitched like a rare flash sale. I close the tab, but it bugs me enough that next morning, I dig out an old confirmation email, even scroll through price check threads on my phone. Sure enough, last summer, what's on sale now was the everyday price. Somewhere along the way, MSRP crept up, and now the discount is just a sticker game. No villain, no smoking gun, just a digital shell game, and me almost buying in. Laptop snapped shut, suspicion sticking in my teeth. I used to trust those banners. Now, every online deal looks like it's hiding a switch behind the tag. And just when I thought I'd seen every trick in the book, the next gun on this list pulled off a price move nobody could predict. Right after Christmas, the cold hit different. I threw my buddy in the truck and we drove clear out of the city, aiming for Zero Whiskey. A shop everyone in Texas seems to trust, but not exactly my regular haunt. He was set on a Ruger RXM, swore by the bestseller lists from December. I figured it'd be a clean in and out. Just find the RXM, make the deal, grab some coffee on the way back. But the moment we walked in, the guy behind the counter locked eyes and steered the whole conversation to the Taurus G3C. I don't even hide my bias. I've never liked that pistol. I almost cut him off, but he's got a pitch that just rolls smooth. Talking features, reliability, price. Before I knew it, he's got my buddy nodding along. And even I'm thinking, maybe I'm missing something. Felt like I was hypnotized. Frankly, it ticked me off. Then the staff leaned in and dropped it. Come back in January. Price is dropping. You'll never see it this low again. We just looked at each other, unsettled. Nothing got bought that day. The whole drive home, both of us kept wondering if we'd just been played or if there really was a drop around the corner. Sometimes it's not just the market playing you. Sometimes it's the guy across the counter. And the price on the next pistol, that one caught everyone off guard, including the dealers. I wasn't out looking for anything that day, just dropped by a little shop off the main road in Lubbock to pick up some gun parts. Nothing fancy, no big signs, just a few locals talking by the counter. I took a lazy loop past the glass cases, not even thinking about new pistols. Then, tucked on the back shelf, I spot a Walder PDP full size. What stopped me wasn't the gun, it was the handwritten tag hanging off the trigger guard. No sales sticker, no bright colors, just a number that didn't make sense. I checked my phone, scrolled every listing I knew. Nobody, and I mean nobody, had this price online. It wasn't in the shop's web store, not even in their email blasts. I asked the kid working the counter and all he said was, yeah, that's for walk-ins only. No explanation, no push to sell. Just a local thing, a deal for whoever happened to be standing there at the right time. I left the shop empty-handed, and by the time I mentioned it to a friend the next day, the tag was gone. Just a regular sticker, price back to normal. Sometimes the best price drop is the one nobody but the locals ever saw. That one slipped through my fingers, and it still sits in the back of my mind every time I drive by that shop. In Lubbock, if you spot a deal like that, you don't wait. You grab it or you lose it. And if you think that was rare, wait until you hear what happened with the bonus gun, because that price drop made even the regulars stop and stare. Last week, my phone buzzed with a call from an old friend out in Arizona. He sounded wound up. Said the word around town was that Canik METEM-C9S were being sold off cheap, but only in certain Arizona shops. The rumor? Supposedly, a bunch of those pistols had issues, though nobody could say exactly what or how bad. He asked if I'd heard anything. I told him straight, mine's run perfect since day one. Not a single jam, no quirks, nothing weird in the grip or slide. Every time I take it out, it just works. Told him this sounded more like typical Canik hate than real trouble. Folks who don't like these guns always have something to say when the price drops. But the question stuck with me. Why only Arizona? Why this sudden urge to offload them out west if the issues are just noise? Maybe there's something going on, or maybe it's just old-fashioned rumor mill sabotage to keep the price down for a few sharp buyers. Whatever the truth is, my MC9 keeps running, and that Arizona story is just another reminder not to buy into every rumor or price tag you hear about. Out here, talk is cheap. A gun either works or doesn't. Let them gossip. Mine's still running like new. There's nothing that stings like watching a deal slip through your hands, especially when you know it's not coming back. I've chased these same pistols across shops and websites, hoping for one more price drop, but the truth is, timing's everything. The folks who hesitated are still searching. The ones who jumped are out at the range right now, grinning like they robbed the place. Even the so-called cheap models on this list are already starting to creep up again, getting harder to find by the day. So if you scored, you beat the clock. And if you didn't, you know what that regret feels like. Tell me below, which price drop stung or which one made your month? I read every story. I'm Steve. Stay sharp. And next time, don't let the market outpace you.